Will he throw some lightning?
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Super Desperation Radio! Go!
That's pretty sick. Why are you eating chicken and I'm not eating chicken? What kind of shit is it? Oh,
It was a chicken hot dog.
Yeah, chicken hot dog. I see.
Was
Nice.
it chicken tenders?
What?
I hear they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you can see tonight on SDR, we have a new intro, and it was made by one. He goes by what is it? Detective Naruto.
No, I'm pretty sure
Defective.
it's defective Naruto. Right.
I'm going with detective. All right, I read it with. Yeah. But yeah, we owe this man steaks upon steaks upon steaks. That's what it
Stacks of
is, right,
steaks.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, like, we owed him, like, the biggest steak in the world at this point. I mean, this is... We've been asking for an intro for how long now?
3 years.
Like, 3
I
years,
do enjoy
man.
I do enjoy the fact that Tony's represented by a bald eagle.
I
mean,
like that
that's-
too. It's because, like, if you go to my Twitter profile, that's my icon and my header image. So,
Yeah,
like,
honestly, this guy really knows his shit. Like, all of you guys are with your face. Tony's got the bald eagle. I'm apparently Nico Yazawa. Like, this is on point.
yeah, that makes me laugh.
That one's good. That's that good shit.
But Paul is not a cat, which is kind of weird.
He's not business cat.
No,
I mean, it's just him, like, sleeping in the bed with, like, Pikachu creeping on him.
Well, nobody actually sees the business cat icon, so.
See, there we go. See, nobody knows. That's a secret. That voice it was.
Well,
Not
they
even.
can't all be secrets forever.
Secrets and lies, man. I'm telling you. But boy, do we have a lot of stuff to catch up on and talk about from the last 2 weeks.
Do we?
I think so, because I can't remember if the last show we had got derailed or not. I feel like every show gets derailed, but...
Every show gets derailed, all right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could have talked about Street Fighter V, but I hear the servers are down indefinitely, so I guess the game is canceled?
Well, hold on. The game it came out, all right? It came out. They did a thing with, like, some rapper guy. And
It came out, and then it went back in.
Some guy, yeah. Like, they did a thing. I think the fact that that rapper beat that Daigo, that's what killed the game.
Some guy named Daigo, like, who the hell is that? Like, you mean the dude that lost to Lupe Fiasco?
His name is
Are you talking about the guy that lost to Lupe Fiasco? Because, I mean...
Oh, that's his name? Lupe Fiasco?
I mean, if you're trying to imply that Lupe Fiasco is a nobody and that Daigo is a somebody,
No,
I mean...
No, hold on. I want to point this out.
The footage does not lie.
No, I'm told...
Who the fuck is Daigo?
From a very reliable source that this Daigo, the Beast Umehara guy, he is supposed to be the best Street Fighter player in the world. However, I saw him lose to this Lupe Fiasco character.
Mecha MacGyver said,
Lupe
Chris,
Fiasco is
your mic is hella
the
loud
best
with
player
the
in the world.
background.
I like how you called him this Lupe
Mecha
Fiasco
MacGyver
character,
said,
like
"Be
it's
away
the
louder than
50s,
Doggy
and you're
LOL."
like taking a police report.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, there's more important news than that. Apparently, there's this new sick character in a fighting game. His name is the King of Dinosaurs.
The King of Dinosaurs.
The King of Dinosaurs. He bites you. He humps you. He hits you with his tail. Man, this character's so sick. Too bad they had to kill T-Zoc to get him, huh?
Is that what happened?
Well, I mean, that's what happens in heel turns, right? The good guy dies, and then the bad guy reemerges from the ashes of the good guy?
Maybe?
I mean,
I don't know that that's always what happens.
Honestly, I don't know because I haven't seen a heel turn in 2 years.
You might have. Don't lie to me.
Like, unless you count Seth Rollins, but does that really count? I mean, he was already like,
the person who should have done
Shield
the
had
heel.
turned face, and then he turned heel.
yeah. So he's like, it's almost like he just went back to what he was doing beforehand. Doesn't
I mean,
really count.
maybe.
Doesn't really count.
I think it counts.
All I'm saying is I haven't seen a real heel turn like that in a long time. That just straight like T-Zoc was basically like like Hulk Hogan status in his circle, and he threw it all away for dinosaur mask.
Hey, the dinosaur mask is sick. Okay, and
Yeah.
I've been telling people this. Dinosaurs are prehistoric birds, so he's still a bird. All right? He just evolved. That's it. Now, I don't know if that makes him better or worse. He's going to be more vicious. That much is for sure.
So is it going to be like the Super Mario Brothers movie where they devolve the two dumbasses and they actually got brains?
Maybe. I mean,
Nobody watched that movie.
Shut up! You all watched the movie, just nobody remembers it.
No, I never actually watched the whole movie. You know why? Because it looked like ass when I was a little kid, and I didn't watch
the
it.
only reason you didn't watch it because it's like fucking 4 hours long. Like, Jesus.
No, I didn't watch it because it had John Leguizamo in it. Who the fuck wants to watch that?
I'm gonna pull the Hell Pockets and say that the king was the fungus all along.
Oh, what the fuck, man?
Oh, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a pretty decent amount of news that happened in the past 2 weeks. We took last week off because Hell Pockets is the only person that can stream because we're all stupid. And yeah, he was busy playing Street Fighter V before the game died.
He was too busy watching Daigo lose to Lupe Fiasco to stream the show.
This is accurate.
Let's just say what it really was.
Yeah. Now, here's the question. Chris, Pockets, trash bag, you here?
Is he
Yep.
gone?
I
I think
do
he
not
died.
think he's here. He probably muted himself. People in chat were just bashing him for being a quiet little nobody. Chris, you're too
He's
sensitive.
probably talking,
Oh.
but
He's probably talking and he's muted right now.
yeah.
Yeah, he
No.
probably forgot to unmute.
Yeah, Lupe Fiasco versus Daigo. That was a pretty big deal. I was watching a good chunk of the stream, and it went from like having 15, 20,000 viewers all the way up to 80,000 the moment they started playing. It's some shit. It gets more views than most majors do.
Yeah, it was huge, to be honest.
I think I won the pool on how many people would watch total. Or,
Oh, yeah?
longest concurrent. I said like 80,000.
Yeah, you did. You said 80,000. You were right on the money. I thought it would be 100. I was dumb. I am dumb. What I mean was, I'll always be dumb.
I was honestly surprised, I guess, by how many people watched it, but it was on the front page of Twitch. I
Yeah,
think.
it was on the front page of Twitch. It was streamed on the Twitch channel. Lupe Fiasco was promoting it. Madcast promoted. Everyone was promoting it. It was all over the place. So it's gonna get a shit ton of views.
Yeah.
And it's not too surprising it got to 80. Like I really did think it would get higher than that, but oh well. It still did really well. Lupe beat Daigo, and look, Lupe being the gracious winner that he is, gave him this one of a kind. What is it? Metal Gear Solid jacket that Konami made for him.
Yeah.
How nice of him is that? And you see how horribly it fits Daigo? That shit is too big for Daigo.
It's a style, man. I mean, you wearing big clothes and stuff. Wasn't that like?
Oh, is he gonna come out? Is he gonna come out looking like Soldier Boy with this gigantic ass fucking
Christ.
tall tee that like goes all the way down to his ankles and shit?
He just might.
I
It's not
I want to see
entirely-
Daigo with a remote control chain. That would be my shit.
want to see Daigo in a zoot suit. He probably could kill it.
Oh shit, Zoot Suits?
What is this? The 30s?
I mean,
Man.
Eventually, in like what, 15 years?
Well, now you're just shooting too far ahead.
if we're going by
Daigo
like
still.
Cadillacs and dinosaurs time frame, then
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Cadillacs and the King of Dinosaurs? What?
we're getting to that later.
Okay, all right.
I think the funniest thing about the whole Lupe Daigo match was people getting mad upset after the fact. Like, this is crap, blah, and I was
Yeah,
like,
no, what gets me, this is what gets me about it. Everyone's like, oh, it was staged. No, I do not think it was staged. I really think, I just think, obviously, Daigo was screwing around. We're not going to sit here and say he wasn't. But I really do think he didn't know it was
First to three. He did not know.
He
I think
didn't know it was the first of three, and he
Yeah.
didn't know that DP that he chose was not invulnerable.
Yeah, he tried to jab DP or something, right? It just
No, that was the fierce one, and he just got blown the fuck
was
out.
that
And he
what
just,
it was? Oh shit!
yeah. Only the strong one has like invulnerability or some shit, and it's just like, well, that's what happens when you get that, early access Lupe Fiasco. You got to ban the testers,
Oh
man.
my god! And you know that
Also-
dude. You know that dude was like he was all showing all those training videos where he's just like hitting like one button at a time. And like,
Yeah, that's that endurance training.
Well, that's just to throw you off because like when he's not showing you is all the hours he's logging in with LPN playing fucking Ken.
No, you're wrong. There was definitely a round where he only used medium kick for like most of it, and he was destroying Daigo. Just
Hey,
proof
man.
that his training works.
Medium kick with Ken's pretty good.
No, medium kick with Ken in the hands of Lupe Fiasco.
It's pretty
It's good.
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
think about it. He's been winning matches with only that button. He knows the ins and outs, and then the other ins and outs of that button.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
how
So
do
I'm
you
looking
get
at it.
around
I'm looking at it now. Freer's Shoryuken is lower body. Like it's supposed to be.
Did you just
invincible
call it a
one to three.
Shoryuken?
Shoryuken is invincible from frames 1 to 3, lower body and invincible and throw invincible frames at 4 to 7. So it looks like he might have did it a little early.
That sounds like a good move.
Yeah.
Also, here's another thing. Lupe won. Why is it that Daigo gets his own Twitch channel with a sub button and emotes and shit, and Lupe doesn't get shit? What the hell?
He doesn't need it. I mean, he's like,
No,
whatever.
he
I beat the so-called best. What do I need Twitch
No.
for?
You need to remember. We live in a society where we're supposed to promote the winners. All right, that's what USA is all about. We're about
Sure.
winning.
We're about
Lupe
winning.
should be awarded, not Daigo. Okay.
I mean, we also live in a society where Donald Trump's running for president. That's
Shit.
another story.
Can we have Lupe run for president instead? Like,
I mean,
I'm down.
think about it this way, though. Lupe retired after. He said he wasn't playing anymore, so
Yeah.
they had to give it to second place.
He did the old.
Lupe
the North
was
South special.
obviously training
Yeah.
with Dark Talon, one and done Daigo. Yep.
I'm telling you, the NorCal special, the one and done. That's it. I'm better than you. I'm never playing you again.
Oh damn! He hit him with the full anime online play. Just hit you with the one and done, and then just disconnects from the server.
It's like,
So by training, what I really meant was that Keenan one and done fucking Lupe. Lupe got hella mad, so he realized I'm gonna one and done Daigo.
oh my god.
That's the full disrespect.
When watching it, you can see people there were enjoying it.
You know
Yeah,
what's
that's
funny?
cool.
You
As
know
long
what the
as-
funniest thing about all of this is? A week ago, and I don't want to bring it up, but it was like amazingly like, perfectly timed. But KBR goes on like Daily Dot and says Daigo's never had
Christ.
to deal with being a bad player, and Daigo
Yeah.
loses a Lupe Fiasco.
We'll hold on. We'll leave that. We'll leave that for a bit because I do want to bring up that interview because people are dumb.
Yeah.
What was it? Is that the people were having a lot of fun at the event. You could see people cheering on Lupe, cheering on Daigo. It was just fun for them to watch and be there.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It was a fun time.
And like now that the fighting scene is getting much more exposure from like high profile people, you got shit like CEO. You got Kenny Omega coming down to CEO,
Yep.
and what's Kenny Omega gonna do? Last year we had like the whole Stone Cold Stunner thing with K-Brad. And mind you, he stole Hell Pocket's gimmick because Hell Pocket's planned on doing that years ago. Just
Yeah.
throwing this out there.
Just
throwing this
kinda-
out there.
I didn't want to say anything because he did it, and I was like, well, I mean, he travels, I
Well,
don't.
Yeah, here's the thing with it. We have to say it now because Wizard came on the show and confirmed that you weren't the reason that Evo made it onto Sports Center. So now we need to give you something else to brag about. Okay? That's what we're doing.
I mean, I only brag about now that I am on Sports Center.
Yeah.
And
But yeah,
Colin Cowherd.
oh Jesus Christ, we don't bring him up. Yeah,
I try not to.
yeah. So Kenny Omega's going, and we can only assume that Xavier Woods will be there, and they'd probably do some kind of exhibition.
Maybe
Unless
I
they're
don't know
saving it for
because
Evo?
Xavier Woods was talking about he name dropped Evo in final round, but he hasn't said anything about going to E CEO.
Maybe he didn't know what CEO was until like Jabali and Mark and all them started talking to him.
I mean, that makes sense because final round is in his home state, and
Yeah.
Evo is the biggest tournament in the world for what he likes. So those are obviously like the two things he's probably going to hear about. Although considering that WWE is stationed in Florida, I figure he might have heard something.
Yeah, you would think
You know
so.
what? Hold on, this just hit me. What if this would be great since it is in Florida? What if Kenny Omega showed up and brought the entire Bullet Club that's an NXT CEO,
The elite, at least.
and then they would just beat the shit out of everybody in the middle of fights? So that way Kenny could win. Just think
Oh,
about
that'd
it.
be
Look,
great.
Look, check it out. Read the official rules to any event. There is nothing in the rule book about distracting another player by touching them,
See, this is
throwing
why
them
we
off
need
the
Joey on
sticks
the
or
show,
anything.
but Joey dipped out
See?
already.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Joey doesn't need
Now-
to know.
So what you're saying is I can't talk shit, but I can have somebody super kick you in the face.
Well,
Yes.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna have someone distract like the pool runner. Like they're gonna sneak up and he's gonna be like, "Hey, get out of here! You're not supposed to be here." And then the other guy is just gonna the one guy will distract him. Then the Bucks are gonna come out and like more bang for your buck. Like
Yep.
the guy.
Look, the Bucks are going to come out from under the table, all right? While you got like one of the bigs just distracting the ref, and then boom, double super kick. He's out. Kenny takes the person out, just 2-0s him, and then the ref turns. Oh, who won? Kenny's like, I won, and that's it. It's done. Easy.
He's gonna report that he 2-0'd.
Yeah.
See, I could take that bump. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody else could. Is what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out that I could take a bump.
This is definitely-
You think you could take a bump, but it depends on what kind of bump.
I've taken bumps. I've taken super kicks. They were pretty stiff,
Yeah.
but I took them.
you took a pretty big super kick, and then you wore a trash bag for it. It was pretty cool.
Man, fuck you.
We'll talk about that later. Don't worry. Yeah. So, Street Fighter V, more stuff. Yeah, there was the Wizard World, which
Wizard World.
was pretty big. Like,
I would actually say I was
did-
surprised at how much more attention it got because the Wizard World Tournament Series kind of came about after CPT was announced, and
Yeah.
it just didn't seem to have as much steam behind it, obviously, as CPT had, and yet, you still had all the killers show up.
oh
and,
yeah, and
Go ahead.
they had what was it, Tekken 7, some anime trash game,
oh
Street Fighter
God,
V,
dude, no. Holy
and-
shit!
Smash, I believe. Now, I say that about the anime game because I watched it. What the shit? I
All
don't
right,
get.
so
I don't.
I'm watching that game, and there's people in the chat saying, like, guys, you don't understand. Like, these dudes aren't even good. It's
What are you
way
guys
better
talking
players.
about? What game?
Naruto,
It's
Shippuden.
Oh, well, they
Ultimate
actually
Ninja
also
Storm.
had Gear and BB.
Oh, they had Blaze as well. I forgot Peter.
They didn't
said-
Yeah,
promote
they
that
had Gear
at
and BB.
all.
They had Gear and BB for decent money, too.
They didn't promote
Yeah, it
that
was,
at all, man. They were like, they were all over
3,000
Naruto, man.
Yeah, but Tekken 7 was great to watch when New Day popped up and started playing people. And they had one of the Portland players just come up and just talk so much shit to Xavier Woods. That shit was good. They put on a good show. It was great to watch. I didn't get to watch all of it, but I really couldn't stand watching that Naruto game at all.
So I've actually been wanting to play it because
No, you don't.
I've played the previous games just for fun. I didn't even know there was a competitive scene built around it. So when I saw it, I was just like, this is pretty much how I expected high-level Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm to be played. And people just fucking, like, nothing happens.
really-
Like,
I really enjoy you just gave it the fucking full title. Just
high level.
I just, I really just would love to see Chris play that Naruto game, and then me and Alex just stand behind Chris, just go, fuck it up, Chris, fuck it up.
just fuck it up, Chris. Like, you can do your best, man.
We had
Like,
the next best thing because you know who was commentating that shit? Fucking Tasty Steve.
No, hold on. You need to get it right. The Steves were commentating it. Okay?
Yeah, it was
Steve.
Steve and Sajum.
yeah.
Steve and Sajum were
They
commentating
both
this
looked
thing.
like neither of them fucking knew what was going on.
No.
Well, to be fair, Steve at least knew the lore behind the move. It was like, oh, we hit him with the Sharingan. Like, if he doesn't block this Chidori, this match is a wrap.
Anytime the camera panned to Tasty Steve, you see him doing random like hand signs. I didn't know what was going on until I saw the game. He was just imitating.
He was
art.
teaching Sajum the lore while they're there. He's like showing them the hand symbols behind
Yep.
the table.
This is the boar. This is the ox. This is the dog. This is the wolf. See, this is how you got to do. You got to do
saw
really.
the head signs and stuff. Like, oh my god, I was losing it, man. Like, that whole community is funny to me because I looked it up afterwards and I was like, wow, they've been doing this for years, man. They just know they're like nobody wants to pay attention to us because we're so good.
Oh yeah.
And
No, it's
yeah,
been a thing.
It's-
Like one of the tournaments. So there was a tournament series I helped run in Texas for 5-6 years,
yeah,
and they would have this game. And I'm like, this looks like shit. Like the different Naruto games, whatever.
yeah.
And it would get like 100+ entries. I wouldn't do anything with that tournament. I would not help run it at all. I didn't care. But people were serious about it. It looked really bad to me, but that's just me. If people enjoy it, good for them. They enjoy it.
Yeah.
Steve enjoys the
Dude,
crap out of it.
that's the hidden secret of anime cons and shit like that. Is that all the game tournaments get hella people.
Oh yeah, and you do get people who know what they're doing in these games too. That's the fun thing. Like you won't find amazing players for like say Street Fighter or Marvel, but these smaller niche anime games, you will find people for, and even shit games like say Fighters History, like all the old shitty SNK games and crap. You will find people who play this, and they're actually good.
Dude, like the GameCube Naruto games, even
Yeah,
fucking
Oh,
like,
that was my shit, man.
That's what they
dude,
were
those
playing.
games get hella people. At least they used to.
Up until 4. Well, after 4 rather. Like people don't even like the freaking Wii games.
I think it was because they couldn't just import them and use boot discs
Most likely, yeah. And I think it was just like
because it was
also
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass just to work with it, and like they changed some of the system mechanics, and people were just like, just play 4. It's like the pinnacle.
Yeah, because I never actually got to play any of the Wii ones. I think the 4 was the last one I played.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You think these same players who are all about this will transition to Pokken?
I don't
Actually,
know.
Honestly, if they're playing the game Ultimate Ninja Storm now, I think that they'll be all right at Pokken because it's pretty much the same formula.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if CyberConnect 2 is working on Pokken directly because I haven't heard their name mentioned in any of the releases, but it looks like one of their games.
Okay.
Pokken, the ultimate casual fighter.
I mean, shit.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazier shit has happened.
Hey, that's fine. It's gonna bring people in for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like just because of the Pokemon name. That's it.
I was actually discussing this with a friend of mine on how are stream runners, producers going to stream this game, because right now you can pretty much only catch the feed from one side of the match. You can only catch it from one player, and for a lot of that time it's the main player's back while facing another character, and then in some cases that's cool, but in other cases, like when you got Charizard versus that little tiny ice guy and Charizard gets right on top of that dude, you can't even see that dude. All of a sudden there's just shit happening and Charizard's body is just like reacting to it. It's kind of weird.
I have faith in our Tenno overlords. They will figure it out.
Well, the only option I could think is that you actually have 2 feeds going at the same time and you switch between them in the middle of the flight, but that's like
Yeah,
mean-
didn't they? How would they stream Virtuon or the Gundam Extreme?
Well, they streamed Gundam. Mondo figured out a way he could
Yeah.
stream all 4 screens at the same time.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah, they
gonna
do
have
that
to
in
do.
NorCal as well.
So that's how I think it's going to be. Just do both feeds at the same time, and
I feel like that would be so busy though to follow.
would.
How do you commentate that?
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. You're all watching 2 screens, and that's why I'm imploring Nintendo to make a spectator mode for this game, because
The way you commentate is you just yell Pokemon as loud and as long as you can. Pokemon!
all right.
Just sitting there, just staring at the screen. It's Pikachu! It's Pikachu!
oh my
It's-
god,
I'm sure.
Oh, we got the
they'll have
shiny
something figured out by
Rattata.
Evo, because they need to have something figured out by Evo.
Oh
That's-
yeah, I'm down.
That's
sure.
the deadline. Like a week or 2 prior to Evo, it needs to be sorted out because they're not going to try to figure shit out on the fly at Evo.
we don't even know if this game's gonna appear at any other major.
That's true.
This might be something that nobody wants to touch up until Evo, and then leave it up to the capable hands of Spooky and Seg.
I'm telling you, Arteno overlords. I have much faith in them.
Yeah.
Well, so Pokken comes out March, right? Or is it?
I have no idea.
No, I think it's actually like July.
Damn. So they have to wait. Holy shit.
No, that's not. That's
It's
definitely
July 16th, 2015.
not. What?
2015 though, that's the arcade.
Yeah.
So, but
Oh.
you mean the console release?
Yeah.
Oh.
They haven't announced it as far as I know.
No, they
March-
did. They announced
March
the date.
18th.
and-
We just did
Yeah, they
March
announced the
18th.
date and everything.
So in like a month.
March 18th. Yeah. So if it
Alright,
comes out in a
yeah.
month, then yeah, it'll be at events.
I mean, it's
So, yeah,
going to be
they'll
there, but
figure it
I don't know. I guess I just haven't really. I mean, I'm not going to say that it can't survive because I haven't heard anything about it. That's just ignorant. But at the same time, it's like it's coming in literally in the middle of what's possibly the biggest year for us actually ever in terms of games to play.
Yep.
I'm not entirely sure that if it's got like some pretty deep meta behind it, that it's gonna people are gonna spend time on it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a small amount, selection of people, or maybe we'll get an entirely new wing of people that just show up. Maybe it'll just be a bunch of Pokemon fans who just want to play Pokken, and they got really good at it, and they're fucking us up in
Well,
it.
but that was kind of where I was going with the talking about like the Naruto players and stuff like that. Like maybe there'll just be a bunch of people who just play Pokken.
I could see it, man. Honestly, like
I think that's what Evo is kind of banking on, actually. That they're thinking that maybe the people who pick up Pokken are going to be people who wouldn't otherwise be playing competitive fighting games.
most likely.
So to go with that, I actually have a friend that he kind of plays fighting games here or there, but that's not really his big thing. He definitely was thinking. Told me, I'm thinking about joining Pokken at Evo. I don't know. I'm just like, just do it, dude. Like, he's a huge Pokemon fan. And why not? What do you get to lose? Especially with that week 1 sign up, it's only $30.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he lives in Vegas, so room and board ain't really shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, is that for a lot of people, especially with the barrier to entry, like basic entry just to play at Evo being lowered so much this year, you could see a lot more people just trying things out.
Yeah.
Because, hey, maybe, if you're not really into the fighting game community that way, you might not care about Sunday.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll see. But it could be possible.
Speaking of Sunday at Evo, tickets went up for sale last Thursday.
Yes.
And within, 10 minutes, I think they said? All the floor seat tickets sold out?
It was really, really fast.
It was fast, yeah. And people... So, the tickets sold out. After the tickets sold out is when people complained about the price. There was... What was it? It was $80 plus convenience fee plus tax. And it went from $80 to $115, I believe. So that's a big jump. And a lot of people didn't expect it. But oddly enough, the people who complained about it were the people who didn't buy it. The people who didn't plan on buying it either. So if you didn't care, you wanted your front row seats, boom, you got it. Now, there are also going to be scalpers, and that's going to be fun.
Ooh.
How much do you think these tickets are going to go for, boys?
I don't know.
Not as much as they want, but
yeah, I know.
What's funny is that people didn't realize that the floor was actually assigned seating. Even though they were buying seats that had assigned numbers and seats, people didn't realize at first that it was actually for real assigned.
Yeah, and I don't get that, because Joey definitely said multiple times it will be assigned seating.
Yeah, very true.
And he said general admission to all the other seats, you could sit wherever the hell you want. So
I'm thinking Arby's.
Oh, damn.
What's your problem?
I was thinking about how bad it was.
Okay.
Oh, hater.
I mean, Meat Mountain is still calling to us, so we'll see.
But, yeah, I do have to admit that when I first heard, the tickets for Sunday were, GA was only $48, I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And then with the handling fee, it was $66. I was like, really, guys?
They can handle these nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Handle these fucking nuts.
Convenience fee. It's so convenient that you need to pay.
Yeah, the issue with that is people are going to give Evo and Joey shit for that when it's not something they have control over. It's definitely the venue's thing.
Yeah, they're not, they have to, basically charge for their staff, I guess, too, that's on hand.
Yeah.
So.
Now, if you've ever been to a concert, if you ever use Ticketmaster, StubHub, any of this shit, this is what you have to deal with. And it's annoying as shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't get, obviously, they wanted to make more money, but they're just hey, convenience fee. Even goddamn movie tickets, you have to pay, an extra fee. It's stupid.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever had to deal with a handling fee that's expensive before. Normally handling fees are $5-6, but 15's a bit high.
I've been to some, I was about to buy some MMA tickets, and yeah, every time it's in Vegas, it's very high.
So I guess it's probably just Vegas then.
Yeah, it's a Vegas thing. And if I remember right, they also tax you for that convenience fee.
Well,
Nice.
to be fair, they make all their taxes off gaming and shit, so... Yeah.
Well, think about it. They're going to make all their money on people gambling on shit. Not saying people will gamble on Evo, officially in Vegas. That will be sick, and I do feel we'll get to that point eventually. But on MMA tickets, so let's say I want to go to a UFC event, they're going to charge me up the ass for this, but at the same time, people are going to make all these horrible bets and lose a bunch of money.
Oh,
They're not
yeah.
making money either way.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, and so to make up for that, they said that Evo tickets will be $40 to go in, like for the first 2 days. But it turns out it was what, 20 or 30 or something like that. It was dirt
It
cheap.
was $20, I think.
Yeah. So for the first week, I think up until next Thursday, it is $20 if you want to just get into Friday and Saturday,
Yeah.
and that is a stupid deal. Like if you're going to Evo and you don't care for finals, get your damn tickets now.
Oh yeah, like for just spectator for 2 days, that's pretty good. And you know, for basically for playing, it's only being like $30 or $40 to play. It's the cheapest Evo's been in, God, I don't know.
It's the cheapest Evo's been since coming to Vegas.
Yeah, probably.
Like it really is, and the rooms are also so. If you don't go to Sunday, this is the cheapest Evo you're gonna ever go to in Vegas, because the rooms are cheaper than the first year in Vegas. The first 3 years in Vegas, the rooms are cheaper right now with the Evo discount. The admission to Evo is cheaper than it's ever been. So it's win-win, except for food. I'm not calculating food.
I mean, yeah, that's always a jacking. You can't escape that.
The first 3 years at Evo, I was eating at Fat Burger, and that was like.
Was it 2 in the morning?
Yeah. How'd you know? Yeah, so I was eating at the Fat Burger. I would eat there once a day. I just got a massive meal, ate that. That was it. Done. Didn't have to worry about anything else.
Are you talking about a Green Valley Ranch?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think what was it, Red Rock Inn that they held it at?
The Red Rocks?
Yeah.
I didn't go that year for Red Rocks, so.
I think that had a Fat Burger too, because they're owned by the same company.
Yeah, no, it was definitely Fatburger because I think for about 4 years at Evo, I was always in line behind Viscount whenever I went to eat something.
And you couldn't run over him as he got up there, right?
Yeah, I just always just stand behind him and just be like, "Hey Jay."
Hey Jay, what you ordering today? That sounds really good.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll get the same.
Just go up and order. I'll have what that handsome gentleman had. That'll show him.
Just
Try to enjoy it.
watch Jay scurry away in fear.
That'll show him for trying to eat his food.
Right. That'll teach him. Trying to live like a normal human being. But
So with, what is it? Evo coming up soon. Revelator comes out. When is it? May? June?
it's end of May and then beginning of June for the US and Europe.
And they just announced that a new character, Raven, is going to be put in the game.
Yep.
Paul, would you like to go into who Raven is?
I don't know the lore, man.
Chris, are you around?
Chris is the lore nerd.
I'm pretty sure Steve just nonstop talked about this stuff.
No,
Man.
they don't really explain who he is. He works for that man.
Who?
Oh,
That man?
that man? Okay,
Okay.
that man.
He's that man.
Yeah, right? It's capital
that
capital man.
He's some
He's
bad.
that boy.
What is it?
We them boys.
So he's supposed to be a villain then, of some sort.
I don't.
No, not quite. Like that man kind of like walks the line. I would say he's the main antagonist, not necessarily
He's an
the villain.
enigmatic figure.
Yeah. So you see, with Raven, it was originally believed that he was actually a future or alternate timeline Axel, but that was more due to a slight mistranslation. What was actually implied when Raven meets Axel is that they're similar in that they're both present in future timelines. Axel by virtue of teleporting around time willy-nilly outside of his control, and Raven by being completely immortal.
Oh, he's immortal. Okay.
Yeah, so so his entire thing in the game kind of ties into him not feeling anything and being immortal. So he can only feel alive by feeling pain.
I see.
Yeah, so he's an edgelord in more ways than one.
So he's a
the
teenager permanently.
So the only thing that gets him high is moon rocks, and it only gets him to normal.
Yeah.
You guys really are dropping on the Simpson reference right now? Come on.
I didn't watch Simpsons like that. You already know that.
So have they dropped any information on how he plays, or they just said he's coming to the game? That's it.
So there's supposed to be a feature on Famitsu, like kind of talked about him, but there hasn't been any videos about him yet. Really.
Yeah, just a couple of screenshots. He does have some sort of unique air dash where apparently his air one kind of homes in, supposedly. I would imagine something like QB's where it angles in. Maybe not necessarily to the character like hers does because it's stupid, but probably in a more steeper angle. Or maybe it's even like backwards Eno dash where he air dashes and kind of angles downwards. He also has a way to power up his moves by taking damage. They made it a point to state that life management is really important with him.
Huh. Okay. And no word on whether or not he's going to be available once console drops? Or can we just assume he's...
He is a console character. They haven't said whether he's going to be... like, whether he'll be a DLC or he'll be like Sin.
Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting to see.
So
And
we are...
this isn't here. I mean,
And then, of course, especially with that article, they showed a silhouette that people are assuming is Dizzy.
It's Pikachu!
It might be Pikachu.
It's always Pikachu.
Oh, so...
Just gonna wait for the day that you call me up and it's like, hey Alex, it was Dizzy. Coño!
I wanted Rockets to be here because I want to go into this whole King of Dinosaurs and the KOF-14 stuff, which we're gonna do, but it would be much better with him here because he's so happy about this.
Could we get the unhappy stuff out of the way so we can talk about the happy stuff?
You get the unhappy stuff out of it. What would you?
Are we gonna do it? Is it time?
Are we
doing
talk
it.
about
It's
let's
time.
do Street Fighter 5?
Oh, the launch to rival all launches.
Yeah. So
Like, what the fuck was that? That's seriously all I can ask. Like, there's so many arguments back and forth where people trying to defend the game. It's like, oh, the core element of the game is the versus gameplay, the 2v2, and that's working fine. And it's like, look, man, this fucking game was made with a tournament series in mind, all right? Like, those tournaments have already been planned out, like a year in advance? We know exactly what the Road to Capcom Cup is, right?
Pretty much.
And it's like, what, one every fucking weekend almost?
Almost. I'd say probably once every 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah, pretty fucking intense. So, you're trying to tell me that the reason there isn't one-player content is because they put so much time into the blah-blah-blah in terms of the versus, right? How the fuck are you going to tell me that when you have a game that gets pushed to set buttons incorrect? Like, yes, thank you, Capcom. You finally learned after 7+ fucking years of Street Fighter 4, fucking up button config, like, fucking it up in the worst way possible by not having push to set, despite this being a standard that you set in fucking the 90s with Street Fighter 2 World Warrior and Alpha 2. You fucked it up for 7 years and you finally got it right in 5. But how did you fuck it up then? You put it on a screen that's not character select in a game that has asinine fucking load times. Like 16 average seconds loading? Average. That's on the lower end. Fucking Marvel 3 loading 6 different characters takes 10. Like the other day when we were at your house, Paul,
we
didn't it
got
fucking
PSX load times now.
Yeah, the other time we were at your house, didn't it fucking take at some point over 40 seconds?
Okay, so that was even weirder. Was that a lot of people noticed that on, what was it, Sunday? Was it Sunday or Saturday that like the game was just taking longer to load for everybody? Like, what the fuck is that? Is that because it's talking to the servers and taking forever? That's awful.
That's
like,
fucking stupid.
Why is my one-player mode having to talk to the servers all the goddamn time so that it can load my fucking matches? I'm playing versus mode. I'm not playing online. This shit is awful.
So let me go back to my original point with that taking so fucking long. If it's taking so long and I have to go to another menu to screw up, what happens if some jackass is real fucking smart and goes into character select, picks both characters, and then decides to load the game and check the buttons in-game only to load back out and then reset them?
No,
That's
about
one
hand
match. That's one fucking match of wasted time that has to happen how many fucking countless times for a tournament? Tournament series that's already planned out. You're telling me you put any fucking kind of attention to what you're doing? What the fuck? Also, how are you going to have a tournament game where hold start to actually pause the game isn't a standard? Yeah, you can turn it on. Thank you, Capcom. I'm glad you did that. But it also turns it on globally, so you have to fucking hold start to pause it in single-player modes. In a game with fucking horrifyingly difficult... Like, I'm seeing people that are Street Fighter veterans say, I can't unlock the fucking colors because of survival mode. Now you're telling me that I just turned on pause really quick, and now I have to fucking hold it? And like, let's say somebody tells me, it's like, hey, Sanchez, your fucking car's on fire. Stop trying to unlock Rashid's fucking pink color because you got to run outside. But wait, I got to wait 30 seconds or some shit to fucking hold the game down and pause it. Why did you make it global? There's no fucking reason to do that. The thing that aggravates me the most about this game is all the little things they got right, and then they fucked it up. Like, back to the button set. It has push to set buttons, but if you do the, the compulsion that everybody does, right? When you push the set, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, I set my buttons, right? And then what do you do as soon as you set them? You run through them again just in case your hand was wrong the first time. It's tactile response. You want to do it twice. Everyone fucking does it. What happens in this game when you do the fucking tactile thing the second time? It unsets your fucking buttons. Why? I want to see the fucking manifesto that said, this is a good idea because X. Please, somebody fucking tell me who thought this was a fucking good idea.
We'll blame Harrison.
Fuck you, Harrison.
My God. He used to work with Hanzo Gonzo. It's got to be Harrison.
Why would you do shit like this? And this isn't even talked about the fact that the whole legacy controller thing is fucked up.
Oh, man. So we actually tested this because we saw Jabali tweet about how it took. What did he say? It took 4 minutes?
He had 2 people using legacy controllers, first time sitting down and doing it, 4 minutes.
So we kind of tested to see how long it would take us. And it actually didn't take us much time at all until we realized that we did it wrong because the game only lets you set legacy controls for whatever the controller is actually set to. So if the controller is player 1, it cannot actually set legacy controller for player 2. It has to set it for player 1. And I was like, that's exactly where people are fucking up. They don't know.
And think about it this way. We're people that have been playing fucking fighting games forever. We're kind of used to the jackassery. We know what to look for. We were prepared. Think about all the people that this is their first fucking Street Fighter. Maybe they were fucking, entranced by watching Lupe Fiasco beat the shit out of Daigo. Maybe they saw all these stupid Rise Up commercials and fucking, UFC fights or fucking the Super Bowl or whatever the fuck it was. And this is the first time they're sitting down. They bought their controller. They want to fucking play the game. And they can't. Because there's no fucking instruction manual with this fucking game anywhere that clearly tells you what the fuck to do. I had to go to front page.
I think it came with like a month subscription to like Capcom Fighters on Twitch though. So
if it came with some fucking Fighters Edge point, maybe I could have gotten that shirt and I wouldn't be complaining.
Maybe I could have traded some Fighters Edge points for an actual fucking instruction manual.
I had to go to the SRK front page to look this up. And it gave me the instructions, and it didn't have that little caveat that we found out that the DS4 you assign it to is the controller slot that you have to assign the stick to.
Yep.
And then while we were toying around with it, we also kind of found that there's some sort of possible input lag. I don't want to talk too much to that effect because I haven't tested it thoroughly, but there was definitely some funky shit when you try to use a specific non-next-gen stick and quickly use the button config. And not to be completely mean, I do like the button preview thing that they added where you can test to see if your inputs are registering in real time. Like Virtua Fighters had that for years. It's fucking fantastic. Great. But if that meant that somebody else didn't pay attention to the other fucking settings that they fucked up, get rid of button from preview. Let's go back in time, tell that guy that was working on that to cut that shit out and fix the push to set buttons. Or fix the fucking legacy controller. Like, this is a flagship title. This has been the flagship title since Street Fighter fucking 2. It's what we go see at EVO at the end of the year, or at the end of the tournament every year. This is what we come to watch, right? We come to see Street Fighter. You're telling me that this fucking company can't get right what Arc System Works and all these other fucking companies are doing properly? They can't get this right when the developers of the Lab Zero fucking legacy controller driver give them the instructions to do it? Like, when you have the developer of that driver tell you, yeah, they just did it wrong because we gave them instructions, like this was an active decision on Capcom's part? Okay. That's neat. Why?
That's not to mention things like only player 1 being able to control the menu after versus mode. That's ingenious. People have already talked about how that fucks up competitive play because somebody can just rush into the next match or not if they so choose.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why would you ever do that? You can just implement something really simple at the post-match selection where you have 3 options. Institute a fucking hierarchy. Main menu trumps everything else. Character select trumps rematch. And if both players pick rematch, you go to rematch. Why have it on both player sides if only player one gets to fucking decide what is going to happen? Like,
no reason.
If this is supposed to be for competitive play, think of all the fucking scenarios where this is a problem. Let's say for a moment, I am fucking Alex Sanchez, straight out of Mexico, international superstar, fucking earning my shit for my country. I can't speak English that well, and I have to fight fucking Gibby from Iraq or wherever the fuck, or, like, and suddenly we play a match, and I want to switch characters, and there's this gigantic communication break. How much time are we gonna fucking waste me pausing the game,
and me saying buddy a bunch of times?
Yeah. And then trying to figure out exactly what to do, finally figuring it out, both of us agreeing to character select, and now we wait for this game's obscenely long load times to take us back. Why? If this is for competitive play, there is next to nothing that's showing me that they're giving any consideration to the players or to the tournament organizers.
So, I haven't got my hands on the game yet. I don't know very much about it, but do you need to be online to play?
No, but it seems like if you are online, it constantly is talking to the servers.
Have you guys tested it out by turning off the Wi-Fi on the system or unplugging the system?
Nah, not yet.
I think people have said you can play offline because one of the biggest problems that came out were people trying to unlock colors in survival mode, right?
Oh, and the servers dying.
And the servers would die and it would kick them out of survival mode. People were on Twitter saying, log out.
Yeah, they were just saying play survival mode offline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think if you play offline though, you also don't get like achievements or something like that.
Oh Jesus! And people love their achievements.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do, especially if they're playing single player.
Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen once this intricate story mode that's deeper than Star Wars comes out?
I have no idea. I mean, because I don't know. We have technically a story mode, but it's literally some crudely drawn stick figures and 2 matches on ultra easy mode. And you're like, well, that was 5 minutes of my life. Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. Like, people were complaining about the arcade mode not being there, right? Gibby, you've been around forever.
Yes, I have.
Tony, you play really shitty, weird fighting games.
Yeah.
Can you think of a console fighting game that was shipped without an arcade mode?
No. Mortal Kombat 9 had a story mode? I don't remember if it had arcade mode.
Like, it had towers, so I think kind of.
Yeah, it had the towers.
Yeah, arcade ladder. That's fine.
But yeah,
right.
No, this is the first. Like, when I heard it didn't have an arcade mode, I was like, what do you mean? Like, isn't that the normal story mode, and they're going to add a new story mode later? People are telling me no. It's just got a bare-bones story mode that's shit, and no arcade mode at all. And the new story mode's going to be added in like 3-4 months or something. It's DLC, free DLC or some shit. But yeah, no.
So that's crappy. Like, some people were like, oh, why would you play story mode? Nobody gives a fuck about score. Hey, look, man. If I picked up a new character and I don't feel I'm ready to fight people yet, I fight the computer because the computer does really obvious dumb shit that I can train myself to react to and punish accordingly. Some people don't use training mode. Some people just want a fucking semi-live, realistic environment, right? Why is it not there? Is it because all the effort went into fucking training mode? A training mode that doesn't save your settings? That doesn't have manipulation of the stun bars despite there being a fucking page that says gauge management? Last time I checked, the stun bar is a gauge, and the second you turn on dummy, it suddenly turns off any management of the stun bar. Like, if you turn the dummy onto controller, you suddenly can't turn stun off.
Weird. Dumb.
There also isn't a quick reset.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was watching Amir play last night, and I kept asking myself, why isn't he just resetting it? And he said in chat, like, oh yeah, you can't reset the game.
We have BlazBlue and Exerd, and I actually think MKX has this, where you can quick reset and even choose where on the screen you reset to.
I wanna bring this up. A lot of these SNK games have had quick reset since the early 2000s, and notice what I said there. SNK games, they're not really known for doing good things with training.
No, they're not.
But they got it down. Like, you just hit. You could hit select. You could pick if you wanted to reset, if you wanted to taunt, or if you wanted to go to the skill list. Why is that so hard to do? Like I did not know that was not in this game.
Like, there's a couple things the game does right, or gets really close to getting right. Like, I'll give them a ton of props for getting who paused. When you actually pause the game, it'll say player 1 or player 2, right? Like, that's been a fucking nightmare in games that don't do it. Like, that was a huge problem in Guilty Gear Accent Core. Because it just paused, and you're like, it was him. I yelled way louder than him, and I'm more charismatic. It was him. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad there is push-to-set buttons, as fucked up as it is, because it means they're paying some attention. And I can only hope that all these little things that people are trying to defend just get fixed, because they deserve better. These people deserve better. I want people to enjoy Street Fighter V. I haven't played it enough to say if the game's for me, but that doesn't matter. If people are excited for it, if people want to enjoy it, they deserve to enjoy it in the best way possible. And as it stands right now, this is a fucking incomplete package that had, like, if somebody told you, it's like, yo, man, you want this sick fucking car? Well, it's got a transmission and an engine and no power windows. It can only turn to the left, and the radio only gets AM religious stations.
Ooh. Don't worry, though.
Well, that's kind of like Lancaster shit.
The rest of the drivetrain's coming in March.
Yeah, in March. Yeah. Like, it has 2 gears right now. You'll get the next of the gears over the coming months.
Yeah.
Like, I really want this game to do what it should be doing right for the player's sake. Like, think of how quickly tournaments run when you have push-to-set button on character select, when it's easy to map your fucking controller, when you don't have to fucking pay $100 and something for a new controller because it's a next-gen system. Like, I didn't even get into the fucking nitty-gritty of how stupid it is on the PC version to use a legacy controller. Like, Tony,
or some shit.
Did you get it on PC?
Yes.
It made you go into tutorial before you did anything, right?
Yeah.
Could you map your buttons or set your display settings before that tutorial started?
Nope.
Why?
You want to know the best part about the PC version is that the controls for the keyboard controls are, like, you can change what each button is and what it does, but you can't actually change what buttons it recognizes. So, like, directionals are either the arrow keys or WASD. You can't make them any other button on the keyboard. And the 8 face buttons are only GHJK, B, N, M, comma. You can't add other buttons. You can't change where those are. They're just those buttons.
That is ass.
That is super ass.
I was like, all right, well, if I have to use Joy to Key, at least I can just, map some buttons. Because, like, I was playing on beta 3 or 4 or something like that, and I forgot my stick because I went to my parents' house. But I had brought my computer, and I'm like, oh, well, I could play on keyboard. It's not impossible. I've done things like this before. I've used a hitbox before. But trying to throw and tech throws was kind of a problem because you have to hit G and B at the same time. So if you look at your keyboard, they're not the greatest to hit both at the same time.
It's a little weird.
So I was going to be like, all right, well, I'll just make that like K or F or something, like one of the ones off to the side. I couldn't do that. I mean, I think I could make it F, but I just didn't because it was like so far out of there. But yeah, I just couldn't add another key. And also all the button inputs are X input buttons. So they all have the Xbox 360 letters, so you can't actually tell what keyboard buttons are the buttons that they're assigned to.
And what really bothers me about all of this shit is that most competitive players don't give a shit about any of it. But Capcom repeatedly talked about how they wanted Street Fighter V to be this huge entry point for new players into fighting games and competitive fighting games. And they're the people who are getting dicked over the worst. Like, no arcade mode. Look, when I was a kid and I was starting to get into fighting games, I loved playing arcade mode. I liked having single-player content because then it allowed me to graduate to playing with other people. So I'm supposed to just kind of jump into online play when I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't have trials. My training mode sucks. What?
Like,
it's ass.
I'll say this. The training mode's not that bad. It just could be way better. Like, all the little features that you could turn on and off, like, they're really close. They're really close to a fucking training mode that gets you right. Like, fucking, quick reset, save settings, character select is quick. Like, they're really close. But they're fucking missing those things. And what I want more than anything, with all the gripes, because I'm not even scratching the surface on some of these things, right? Like, there's a ton of shit with the fucking PC controller setup that's fucking asinine. Like, the fact that you can't use your out-of-the-box PS4 controller for your PC, it's like, on a game that's crossplay, because you have to use Joy-to-Key. Like, none of this stuff cleanly works out of the box, and even some Xbox controllers don't exactly work without having to go in and fucking manipulate some files. Like, okay, you're making this a little prohibitive for some people.
Oh, another thing. When I went over to my parents' house again recently to play, I played against LeBron. And so I was like, all right, well, I have to map his controls to Joy-to-Key as well. There is no 2-player control option for your keyboard. So
Yeah, it only registers it at one, right? As one controller.
Yeah. So I had to go out and get the X360 CE and figure all that out, which honestly wasn't too hard once I realized you just had to put it in the same folder as the binary to create the file, but it was just a little weird.
Still, if you don't know what you're doing, it's a hassle.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, you just deleted System 32 because somebody on fucking GameFAQs told you how to fix your PC controller for Street Fighter 5. That's what fucking happens. Like, fucking Christ. And just to make it completely clear, zero qualms with the game. Like, fucking, it might end up being the most fun shit ever. I just want people to enjoy it, and I want people to stop trying to make an excuse for it. More than anything, complain to Capcom. Complain to Capcom in a polite, detailed way, using way less fucks than I did right now. Just maybe one really good fuck. Like,
you gotta get
fix
it
your fucking, fix your fucking training modes, not saving settings. Just let them know. Make it really known that you want to play their game, and you would want to play it in its best iteration possible, with all these stupid little things that waste time, that make tournaments with fucking, 60-odd entrants at, local events? Like, some fucking back alley video game store in LA having a shit ton of people?
Yeah.
Like, other events, with over 100 easily? It's great. They're fucking enthusiastic. Make it good. Make it better than what you have already.
And make it inviting to those new people, because obviously there are new people enjoying this game, so make it easier for them to come in and enjoy it. That helps Capcom.
The less time somebody has to waste before they can sit down and play the game, the better. Like, if it's taking me 4 minutes to figure out how me and my guy need to fucking plan out his controller, like me and the opposing player, we need to fucking figure out who's on which DS4. Which DS4 is assigned to which controller. Which button config screen do I have to go to? Shit, did I accidentally unmap my buttons? Let me go back. Like, this isn't a casual setting. How horrible is that in a fucking tournament setting? Where people have to fucking live with the fact that their venue might have time constraints.
Well, and, we've already seen a number of TOs discuss getting rid of legacy support for the tournaments just because of this being a problem. It's like, that just hurts players even more, because it's like some people haven't upgraded to PS4 yet. So they might be just shit out of luck? That's a bummer.
That fucking sucks. It really fucking sucks. So just, again, go tweet at them, tweet at Combo Fiend, tweet at Capcom maybe once or twice. Do it politely and just say, here's what we'd like. Here's examples of other games implementing this. Maybe take a cue or two from that. Just, please. You can do better. We deserve better. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Hopefully,
mic drop.
Hopefully this issue gets resolved and it doesn't happen with any other future releases. Because, what else do we have? We have KI Season 3 coming out this year. Mortal Kombat 10.
Mortal Kombat 10, Combat Pack 2, I believe, comes out at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
And I think it's all the characters of all of them. KI Season 3, I don't think has an official release date, but we're starting to see characters. Obviously, the Arbiter.
Fuck!
Chris, turn your baby down, Chris.
Yeah, so hopefully this doesn't happen with any of those other games. Because, KOF 14 is the only one that has the potential to happen with, because it's a new release.
I'll point this out really quickly, Gibby. MKX kind of fucked up the legacy control support, because it requires you to have a DS4 link to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at least hot swappable. Meaning, let's say you and Tony sat down to play. You won, Tony has to get up, I sit down to play now, right? I just plug in my legacy controller and we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
In Street Fighter V, if I'm plugging in a completely new legacy controller, we have to go out of versus mode, go to the main menu, go to options, go to other settings, and then resync that controller that I want to use.
Yeah. But hey, they fucked up PC altogether. So there's that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with KOF 14 because with KOF 14, PS4 exclusive, no plans on doing anything with arcade or PC. Everything supposedly ready right out the box. They're still unsure about DLC, so it has the potential to not screw up from the beginning, but at the same time, it has the potential to have everything screw up at the beginning. But with how bad Street Fighter V is right now, everyone assumes KOF 14 is just going to be a better game by default at launch. Only because, Street Fighter V screwed up so much shit that there's no way KOF could do it. But I don't know.
Woo!
All I've seen so far.
There's no way that SNK could do something that would be seen as bad in anyone's eyes, right?
Yeah. SNK is perfect. That's how it goes. But we'll see. They announced, what was it? King of Dinosaurs, Robert. Who else was it? King.
Clark,
Billy,
I think, was new-ish.
Clark. It's not that they announced these characters. It's just they've
been revealing them in trailers now.
Yeah, so they revealed some of these characters last month at the Taipei Game Show or Taiwan Game Show, whichever one it was, and they made 3 of them playable, which was Robert, Billy, and King at the Hong Kong test for the game. But this show they showed off King of Dinosaurs, which is the big thing everyone's talking about because you do have people who know who T-Zoc is not believing this is T-Zoc for whatever reason, even though he has the same voice actor and the same move names. And I don't know why.
And SNK has a history of creating a alternate version of the same character. Did it in the 90s.
Yep. And you have a heel character still saying Justice Hurricane. Why?
He says maybe Injustice Hurricane. Okay, you can do that.
In Justice Hurricane.
Maybe he's got like some twisted form of justice where he just like justice is smashing somebody's head on a rock or something.
He has the Just Us Hurricane.
Oh man,
just the two of us.
If he's the shield, he's defending.
Yeah. So the game, I do have to say, the game is looking a lot better than it did, say, 2-3 months ago.
Definitely.
But it still has a lot to work on. Visually is improving a lot, especially from the first, 2 or 3 trailers. The game looks significantly better now. But gameplay is still an issue. I still see the floaty jumps that were around during the PSX testing. And I don't know. People are complaining about the move list so far. They showed off King. She doesn't have Air Venom Strike. She has more. A lot of the characters have more of a 98 moveset than a 13 moveset. So that's upsetting a lot of the 13 players. And I don't know how that's going to turn out just yet.
Well, it kind of sucks too because, let's face it, the bulk of the scene right now is 13 players.
Yeah, it is.
I like that they are looking into the past for inspiration on things. But, come on, man. Don't piss off your bread and butter,
Yeah,
Nobody would have been upset if they just made another 13 with more characters.
Yeah, exactly. I personally want a more 98 style game. I don't like 13 very much, but it's smarter for them to make it more 13. More like 13, more like 2K2
Definitely.
Because that's the style all these players that have pretty much come up in the new scene have been playing, and that's what they're accustomed to. A lot of the 13 players, when they go back to play 98 FE, they don't like it. They don't understand how the game works. They can't play it.
No, yeah.
And almost all of them default to picking Kyo, Iori, Kim, Kyo, Iori, Terry. Those 3. Or they just pick Kyo and Iori and try to find someone else they can pick that resembles their 13 self. And I don't know how it's going to turn out for this. I do see a lot of the older players liking this game, but I'm not sure about the newer players. It's going to be a mix.
I don't think it'll ever be so bad where it's just all normals all the time like that. I don't see that happening.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I would love for that to happen, but it's not going to happen.
No,
I just want to press buttons. I don't want to do moves.
hit you with that far standing C.
Yes. But there are some things, some cosmetic changes they made that everyone likes. Not everyone, but the majority of people like. Having Ralph and Clark, just go in for liposuction with muscles. Is that what it's called? That's how you do it.
I guess, man.
They're back to normal human proportions. That's good.
They look like a good mix between the original form and the new form. They're not as small as the old ones, but they're not nearly as big as the new ones either.
Exactly. And then you have King of Dyn. I'm gonna keep calling him T-Zoc. Goddammit.
I know. I want to keep calling him T-Zoc too, because like we don't know his full moveset. I'm pretty sure he has Potato Wave.
He's gotta have Potato Wave.
I know, right? Like, why wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have Big Fall.
Yeah, there are pictures with him next to Chang, and Chang is huge as is.
Yeah.
You can see how big T-Zoc is next to him and how like muscular he is. But in Mark of the Wolves and in KOF 11 and 13 or 2003, he was already this big. He was a massive character to begin with.
Right.
So they just made him. It seems like they put him in like just with those same proportions in this game.
I mean,
and he looks good right now. Like he really does look good visually.
No, a lot of the new characters coming in, they look great. I mean, I don't think you can mess up K. K is kind of like just easy design. You don't really have to mess with that at all. But I was actually kind of impressed with like what they did with Benny Morrow, not just how he looks, but how his moves look. They look kind of cool.
Yeah,
like,
and his new win pose where he just thanks you, or
like, what the hell is that shit? But it's kind of hype,
It's cool. Like there are a lot of little things that are really nice about this. Like I definitely was against a lot of the stuff I saw, and I was vocal about it on the show before, and I'm turning more around to the game. I like what I'm seeing. I like a lot of the shit going on, and that's cool. I want to see more that's being revealed. Apparently, once again, the leak info that showed up for the game it seems to be spot on. They said T-Zoc would be in the game, but with the dinosaur outfit on.
Did they say that? With a dinosaur outfit? Holy shit!
So the leak lists are more than likely true.
I mean, at this point, that was like the only curveball, and it ended up like nailing it. So yeah.
Yeah, because there were two different leak lists. One said T-Zoc's going to be in it with the Mexican wrestling team, Angel and Ramon, but that's all that one said. This one said the same thing, but it adds that, T-Zoc will be in a dinosaur outfit for whatever goddamn reason. So,
but this is the one that was on Madman Professor's website today, right?
I don't know. I didn't check.
Because there's like some 4chan post that he's purporting to say to be a more up-to-date list. But I mean, it's kind of hard to look at a prediction list like that comes out after the trailer. Like, of course, like it's gonna be. I would say if that alternate universe team is real, then yeah, that list is definitely real.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun seeing how they play out some of these characters. And I'm interested in seeing how some of them play. Like, I like the design for Clark. Clark looks a lot like he looks like his old self, but different.
Yeah.
Ralph looks like his old self, but different.
I want to know what super.
They don't look like they're on Helleroids anymore.
They just look jacked, yeah.
The way they're dressed too.
I want to know what leads to Ralph like just walking through like that field of flames. That looks fucking sick.
That's gonna be either his Galactic Phantom or the punches where he just decks shit out of you on the floor, and then he just walks away from you while you're falling to the ground. It's gonna be some shit like that.
I mean, that would be cool.
World War III starts playing.
Terry looks cool. I like how they gave Triple Geyser like not such a ridiculous looking startup this time, where it's just like, oh man, this is gonna take forever to hit, and you had to be like at the arc of your jump to like be to be like anti-aired by it.
You know what I like about Terry that people are complaining about? They gave him his Fatal Fury 1 jacket.
Yeah. Wait, was that? They gave him a Fatal Fury 1 jacket, but it has the Real Bout the Real Bout tagline on it, so that's cool.
Yeah, but the design is Fatal Fury 1.
Right, yeah.
Jacket.
The sleeves and everything.
Fatal Fury 1 is the only game he had a long sleeve jacket for whatever reason.
Bro, he turns his hat backwards like a switch.
No, not like a switch. It's over the top, okay? He's going to beat the shit out of you when that hat goes back.
It's like a switch, though. He turns it backwards like a switch, and then, like, he can do whatever he wants.
It means it's go time.
It's go time, man. And he gave him power charge back, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not 97 power charge.
No. No.
Throwing this out there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't want to get too much into that because that's all speculation. But I'm just glad it's back.
The game has potential now. Like the more and more I see of it, the more I do feel it has the potential to be a good game. But my issue now is, will it appeal to the KOF 13 community? That's my issue now. Because if this is going to play more like a 98 style game, most of them don't like it. Like I have spoke to many KOF 13 players about getting into 98. They've tried it. They do not like it. and it's all the same thing. Oh, it feels weird. I don't like that I can't like get a big combo off on you. I don't like the way the meter system works.
I imagine the biggest complaint they have is just they just can't use specials whenever they want to.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Like a lot of people like to do specials for checking offensive pressure or whatever. Just raw specials for punishes and stuff. But no, you can't do that. 14 feels a little bit looser than that though, so it's not nearly as rigid.
It's really hard, I think. I mean, look at Street Fighter, where people who play 2, people who play 3, people who play 4 don't necessarily like one another's games. Mm-hmm. Whereas you have, I don't know, like 5 times as many King of Fighters games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody has their little niche they like. And while it was awesome that SNK was basically doing a new game every year for a while, it also really splits the community.
Yep.
So you have people who like 98, people who like 2002, people who like 13, and then you're peppered with all the people who like the really weird ones in between.
Thankfully, nobody talks to those people.
I mean, and 11, too.
Yeah, and 11's different. 11's not even a KOF game. We've all come to terms with
put
that.
This aside, 11 is, like, prior to 13, that is the KOF game of the States. That is the one that did the best in the States. Throwing this out there. I don't like it, but that's what it did.
No, it did amazing here. But like most people that played that game weren't even KOF players.
This is true.
Like we had like so many different like mixtures of people, like people coming from Third Strike, CVS2, Guilty Gear, Marvel players, and very few like true like hardcore KOF players. I mean, we had some, but there was like very few of them. At least over in NorCal.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I think it has potential.
We have moved to cautious optimism.
Yeah. Threat level is blue.
I still feel like I don't know why they showed the game so early when it just looked like complete ass, because I do think it really hurt the initial impressions of a lot of people who weren't interested in the game to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Where like a lot of other game players looked at it, they're like, wow, the new KOF looks like ass. And then they haven't been paying attention to the news of KOF 14 where it's looked better.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have all these like videos coming up that show the comparisons, and people are just laughing at it. And I'm not saying these are bad videos. Like, it's good that these videos exist. It's just kind of like, hey, look at us nitpicking these things that you laughed about maybe 6 months ago. And don't you feel stupid now? And these guys are like, no, we don't feel stupid because it still looks like shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Photoshopping a face onto a PlayStation 1 box.
That's like the last time anybody talked about KOF 14. Tekken 2 box.
Subject of KOF. I did want to bring up the Dream Cancel Cup that happened this past weekend in Colorado. I didn't get to watch most of it. Everything I saw was ET steamrolling people.
Yo, ET Cup?
Yeah, the ET Cup. He came out of it winning KOF 13, Street Fighter 5, KOF 2K2 UM, and KOF 98 FE. I didn't see any of FE. Most of what I saw from 13 was just like the EOD Rekka combo exhibition. Everyone was doing that shit. I'm not enjoying that. I don't
Hey! At least they finally came to terms with the fact that it's viable in tournament. Because remember when they said nobody's going to be able to pull this off in tournament?
And did anyone listen to me? No, they didn't.
They didn't.
Okay, so anyway, 2K2 UM was the ET show. He just beat the shit out of people. I like watching shit like that. It reminded me of 2005 when RF came and beat the shit out of everyone in 2002, and no one stood a chance. That's essentially what this was. It was hilarious. I do want to go back and watch the archives because I do want to see how 98 FE went, but it seemed to do well. It wasn't a big event. But it did really well, like in terms of it entertained me, I guess you could say. But like KOF 13 only had about 30 entries.
Wow.
2K2 UM had about 24, 98 a little under 20. So it wasn't a big thing, but when you look at the names that entered, it was a lot of dedicated KOF players that showed up. You had ET show up from Taiwan, you had some players show up from Mexico. I think a Canadian or two went, I forgot.
Okay, cool.
I know Karn didn't go, but I would have loved to see him go.
Yeah, we'll see him at SoCal Regionals. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a decent event. I hope that they do something bigger next year and plan it out better. My only issue with it is it didn't get very much exposure anywhere, and they didn't really promote it too well.
Right. I remember that
once
they.
again-
I can say this now. They had come to me to attempt to promote and to show up, and I couldn't because it was too last minute notice.
Yeah.
But I was also just kind of like, man, like there's nobody really talking about it, and I tried.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. They asked you to help promote it, and that's cool. You did help promote it on the show, on Twitter. But the main issue was I didn't see info for it anywhere. Like, I was even trying to find the brackets yesterday. Dream Castle didn't have the brackets on their site. King of Colorado didn't have the brackets anywhere. That was really bad. For me, to me, it's really bad. I'm just trying to figure stuff out. I had to go to Orochinagi to figure out information for
a
the
Dream
event.
Cancel event. Damn.
Yeah. So I'm sure it was an oversight on their part, whatever. But more promotion next time. They need to work with other people. They need to try to get it on SRK, on like all these other sites, just to try to get more exposure.
Well,
for it.
what's really cool is with SNK being way more open to communicating with fans and fan communities, that I do believe they will have the opportunity to work with SNK closely next time they want to do this. I mean, if Interbrain can get it in Japan, I'm pretty sure Dream Cancel can get it here with a consecutive touring event. You know.
Yep.
Other
We'll
than
see. how
that,
it goes for them.
SNK Entertainment's back. What about that, huh?
Yeah, I like it. They're gonna handle all the old IPs or something like that, right?
Yeah, that pretty much goes in line with what they were saying about how they wanted to basically revitalize a lot of their old IPs that may have not seen the proper love they deserved in the past decade. I can't say this is a bad idea. I think this is great. They've got a good guy, I've heard, that's going to be in charge of it. So, this should be really good for SNK fans and fighting game fans alike, or people just like video games.
Yeah.
You're going to be seeing a lot of good stuff come out.
Yeah, what it does is it opens up doors for a game made by SNK Playmore that is not a King of Fighters game.
Right.
Because it's going to revitalize all the old shit and bring like Last Blade, Fatal Fury, Art of Fight. Well, Art of Fighting is bad. Samurai Showdown, all these other games into modern day, like the modern game players.
Mhm.
They're going to see it. They're going to learn about it.
Cyberlip's coming back?
Yeah, Cyberlip. God damn it.
Jesus.
So, it's a good thing. It's really, there's nothing bad about this unless they funnel too much money into it and it burns out and fizzles.
You mean do it like they did last two times?
Hey.
I mean, it worked kind of,
Hey.
but I think at least this time it's not their money.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
You know, it's like it's investor money that wants to see, you know, Last Blade 3, another Samurai Showdown, more Metal Slug. It's going to be cool. I really hope to see a lot of their catalog just, you know, see some kind of like secondary life. Either on Steam, even though I don't think they'll be supporting Steam for much longer, most likely PS4.
Yeah, we'll see how it all turns out for them. Hopefully it works.
Yeah.
And hey, like we said in the last show, hopefully they get someone that can promote this shit. Yeah, huh?
That'd be great. That'd be fucking great.
Yep. Possibly.
And apparently ET is currently in SoCal at some random boba shop beating people at 98 FP.
That's awesome.
This is reported by one 4-leaf who was reported. It was reported to him by Mr. KOF. Thank you.
What kind of boba is he drinking?
I will say green apple, green tea.
Was Mr. KOF
mango
the
bit
ass who was getting beat?
He is no longer
Wow.
Mr. KOF. He is now just John Tran.
Yeah.
Much like there's no more Perfect Legend. He is just Carl White.
Wow.
The same thing. All right.
So wait, he's not Mr. 0-2?
Oh,
Oh shit!
I think he went 1 and 2. Right? Was it?
Did he go?
No.
I think
From
he
what
went
I heard,
0-2.
he definitely went 0-2.
Oh boy.
What did Brandon
he's
tell
just
me?
John Tran.
I couldn't hear what Brandon was saying between sobs. So
Yeah. Once again, so Mr. KOF no longer Mr. KOF, just John Tran. And Perfect Legend. This has been for like past 2 months now. He's just Carl White. You never call him whatever the hell that name he goes by on Twitter. He's just
Now, is it Carl White or Carl White?
No, Carl White. You need to emphasize
Oh, okay.
White. Okay.
it's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Got it.
People need to know these things.
People do need to know these things. People need to know about NCR because NCR is coming up. You need to register for that.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, you do. You have no
I need
excuse.
to see if I'm going.
Well, I 100% want to go, but some things with my job might change. But some other things might change that was unexpected. So but that's all for the good. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You finally getting that lawsuit you've been looking after?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get him on some bad cheese.
Oh man,
I knew it.
There we
Let me
go.
get into it.
I told you.
Give me
man.
that bad cheese.
Cheese always gets you. They did release a new trailer today, which we can show if anybody wants to see it.
I do.
Oh shit! I just realized something.
What's up?
What? We need to have the guy redo the intro. Kelly came back.
Ah.
Wow.
She's
What?
never
No.
here.
She didn't. She missed it though. We had a defective Naruto. In his infinite kindness, made us a legit intro with visuals and audio and the whole thing, and we're just missing a member. We just got to pay him another stake to have it fixed.
By the way, shout outs to that guy again. Shout outs to Defective Naruto, aka Clawmaster, who is part of the Mission Start podcast team. He's somewhere in the chat. Thank you very much. I do owe you that cheesesteak. And yeah, if we can get Kelly, if Kelly wants to show up once a week, maybe. I mean,
No, Kelly.
I'm trying, okay? I'm fucking.
She's the secret guest. Only the longtime fans know who she is.
should just be like a silhouette of her in like question marks and like black screen.
Like
She's
Kelly,
like Dr. Claw. It'll just be
Just a
it'll
hand.
just be like a waifu statue of Saber.
can we? I really just want to have, if Kelly signs off on the idea, is we have the entire intro play out as the guy made it right now, and then at the very end it says featuring Kelly with the power of flames.
It's just like drawn in MS Paint and like.
Yeah,
tacked
yes.
on.
Exactly.
It should just have like a picture from like an old like 80s like sitcom and just be like, and Janice Humphrey as Kelly. Just like
I am so busy with your anime waifu fighter games,
You chose that life.
dude. But I'm here now.
But quickly, the anime waifu game, will it be available at Anime Attention for people to check it out?
It will be, since you asked.
What was that voice?
Wow.
It got my attention.
Yeah, we actually are bringing Nitro Plus to Anime Ascension. We literally about how many minutes ago? About 30 minutes ago, decided that we're doing a tournament this weekend. It's going to be a side tournament, but
So if it's a side tournament, they can do registration on site, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's just going to be a 16-man, but I did get permission for a pot bonus run.
I love pot bonuses. Emphasis on the pot.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like $150 for first place. Assuming we had a full bracket, it'll be $100 for first place, second place, $40 for third place.
$400, damn it! I'll pay for this green screen.
Yeah, if you
You
wanna,
haven't even been coming down this weekend, Chris. Shut
I'm
up.
not. I know. I'm stuck up here changing diapers.
if you wanna see me just like yelling at people, then if you want to get yelled at during the tournament, that's all I do.
Well, there you
I
go.
already have my living
I
room.
prefer
for it.
yelling
It's
at
cool.
people during tournaments. That's usually the better of the two.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot
it
of
was
people is
definitely
the thing
like
to do that tournament.
at SDR. It was definitely like I was getting names for the tournament, like Buttface Lord, and I was like, I have to yell this.
That's why I can't wait for NCR. Because that's all I'm going to do is either yell at people.
You
in
were
the pool-
buttface lord.
Was I? I don't remember last year. Oh man. Anyway, I'm gonna show this trailer real quick. That was up on Spooky's channel as of earlier today.
Made by Lord of Ultima.
Lord of Ultima. Follow him on Twitter. He is the one that makes all of the NorCal trailers. He's amazing. So check him out.
When is this year?
March 27th to the 29th.
My bad. There was more apparently. What the hell? That was random.
Yeah, it was good. It's a good trailer.
That was a good trailer. That ending totally caught me by surprise. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, so that just tells you what the theme of the year is going to be.
Yeah, and I know that
SDR
you
has a theme every year.
set Anime Ascension up, and I was suddenly just like, oh, yeah, can we do that too? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure, bring Nitro. And that was it. This was like literally 3 days ago.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's great planning on their part.
Great planning on my part. I didn't ask. I wasn't paying attention. I knew it was happening because I knew people who were going, but I was like, oh, maybe I should
So you're bringing the Nitro? You're gonna go do some street racing, like?
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
Menage!
All right.
What the fuck?
So we couldn't get to cover everything today because we did go in on Street Fighter V because well deserved. It earned all the hate it got. But,
I mean, it did, but I don't want to talk too badly about it because I've been playing that game nonstop since it came out. So.
It's a good game.
It's fun. Like, look, Chris, I'm glad you enjoy it, but wouldn't you want to enjoy it faster by not wasting 5 fucking minutes trying to have you and another person set up their controller?
All right, see, so I'm gonna just say right now that I didn't have to do that because I got the Steam version and it works great with the Quamba Q2. So
does it?
Yeah, it's perfect. You don't have to do anything to it. Works pretty good with the Hayabusa too.
It works good if you have something that supports 360.
Yeah, because 360 is the platform of choice for Steam games. They pretty much always work. Either 360 or Xbox One.
It's all X input stuff, so
yeah,
that's naturally defaults to that.
Obviously, this should not even be an issue because it should have been any stick you use should be usable. But I mean,
March Madness, baby.
I just happened to have 4 sticks in all of different platforms, so I got lucky, I guess. Imagine my surprise when my PS4 stick didn't work. I was like, wow, that is ridiculous.
I had a good laugh that the game that is only on PlayStation Asterisk didn't have the PS4 stick working. The only complaint I have is that pretty much everybody else's normals beats birdies unless I tip them. Still beside the point.
I'm just worried about this X-Pac input.
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting the wrong kind of heat.
Wow.
Well,
I think we need to blue dot you on the intro now.
Got a lot of heat
What I've always wanted.
What is it? So Alex was announced as the first DLC character. He's coming out next month sometime.
Yes, along with the marketplace. along with the marketplace and
the shop and online lobbies or some shit like that.
Yeah. Instead of just these 2-man lobbies that you can't even type stuff into.
I am beside myself with the excitement for the return of the hot young blood from Street Fighter 3 into the exciting world of Street Fighter 5. I am beside myself and can't wait to rise up.
You realize he's actually even younger in this one.
Look,
he's even younger.
This is all well and good, but Shane McMahon is about to show back up on Raw because West Coast is just getting it now.
Well, bye.
So I'm cutting all of you off because that's more important than this show.
Dude, I met Ken in real life, though. I think that's more important.
No, you can't meet a fictional person in real life.
No, I did. I met Ken.
She's pretty adamant about it, man.
You were wasted. That doesn't count.
I was wasted and I met Ken. I could do both. No, it was the Ken from Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. He was there.
Okay, cool.
At the event. No, he's Ken in real life.
Good story.
And then I found $5.
That's about as entertaining as the time I found out that Marco Rubio was an elite quarterback. It's a true story.
Everyone that night was coming up to we're all standing around talking about the event and shit, and every person came up to James Chen and was like, yo, my character is top 5. Every person about every character. So I'm really confused about what the fuck is going on in Street Fighter 5.
It's top 5.
There's only 5 characters in fucking Street Fighter 5. What difference?
It was not hard.
All right. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, just reminder once more, tweet at Capcom politely, maybe use one really stern fuck, ask them for, go back, fix those things that need to be fixed and made better, and also ask them if they can go back and change the finish to Fastlane.
I want to ask Capcom staff why I can't use the name Hell Pockets on Street Fighter V.
Because it has the word hell in it, and
But
that's
there's
a bad
some guy
word.
in there with the name Hell. I've searched it. There's somebody with the word Hell in their name. It's just
Well, there can only have one of them, you asshat.
only one.
gotta
We'll only
find
have
him
one
and
Hell
kill him
Pocket.
and take his
I had to call
power.
myself fucking Helly Pocket. Like,
You
No.
could be-
Call yourself Heck Pockets.
yeah, what if you were... What if you were Hell Pouches?
Hell Pouches?
Hell Pouches.
Hell Pouches sounds sick.
Somebody get
He
Hans on the
sounds like
line.
a
I need to fix
character
this like,
created
right
by
away.
Rob Liefeld.
He
should've
should be
just-
Hell Pouches.
You should have just been Human Sandcastle like you always were destined to be.
Oh, God. Okay,
What the-
Human Sandcastle the other day because I legit didn't know. I just was thinking about it. I was like, we always said that, but what did it mean? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh.
I have a theory, but I'll explain it next weekend because it's pretty deep. It's like Deep Throat level.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus, we're done.
Alright.
Talking about Richard Nixon.
Sure we are. Anyway, thanks for listening to another
Human
episode
Sandcastle? Sorry.
of Super Desperation Radio. So from everybody here, good night and good luck.